after their skirmish, the party strip the noble of her armor and round up the captured guards. They explain what is going to happen, giving them the option to join. The same offer is made to the townsfolk, giving them until dawn to decide and gather their possessions. Meanwhile, Chives discovers the Baroness's child in the manor, and the party decides to convince their captive to join them, but she refuses, begrudgingly encouraging the villagers to follow. She also lets them take her son, fearing what repercussions she will face once word gets out. And so the villagers depart, or at least half of them, the others choosing instead to remain and live with the consequences. They almost reach their destination when they are attacked by a small group of horsemen. The party defend the caravan despite being spread out and manage to win the day despite poor Chives going down. They manage to reach Stout End with one little white lie and one whopper, getting everyone safely into the boats. Will there be further pursuits of the refugees? What consequences will their departure have? Have we seen the last of the Baroness? Let's find out now on Desperate Measures.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Desperate Measures. How are you guys doing today?
Doing perfect, Neal.
Fantastic.
That's what I like to hear. How about you, Connar?
Yeah.
Just
Yesterday
all
was a pretty long day.
right. Would you like to tell us about it?
It's amazing what can happen when you have the amount of civilians that you do on the shipyard working, and they go up, they gather all their rumor flour, they take it to the rumor mill, and they just start fucking grinding, making all that rumor flour, and then they make this just wonderful rumor bread and present it to somebody, and I get a call, and I'm just like, what the fuck? That's nowhere near what actually happened.
Well, what was the rumor?
Don't worry about it.
Okay, all right.
But it's just like, it got blown way out of proportion. Like, it started the night before I showed up, so Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy who was on duty then told someone, hey, go tell these guys this back aft. And I'm like, all right, sweet. So they do that. Someone there who's pretty new hears it, and they hear one thing, and they're like, oh yeah, that means something else completely. And it just gets blown way out of proportion. So the guy on Friday was like trying to fucking stamp it out. Just like, no, shut the fuck up. That's not at all what happened. Who's telling you this? No, go tell them they're fucking wrong. And then by the next morning, my boss is getting called and just like, I don't know anything about this, because I mean, there's no point to tell them. Like, it was literally a rumor that was spread that was 100% incorrect. And then, like, by about dinner time, I get a call and like, yo, just so you know, this is happening. It's like, all right, what the fuck? It's not true.
You got to pick up the pieces, yeah.
Fortunately, there weren't many pieces to pick up. It was just like, well,
no, that's good.
The people that actually matter aren't calling in. So, all right.
Oh,
whatever.
okay, sure. I gotcha, yeah.
And then probably the best thing that happened, though, is it's like 8 o'clock or so. I'm doing one of my tours, and I go up topside, and the watch center's on the phone asking something back aft, and then he hangs it up, just completely furious. I'm like, what's going on? I was like, fucking nukes are stupid. The reactor's stupid. It like goes off for like 5 minutes about how much he hates the reactor. And I'm just like, oh, well, I mean, I just start egging him on. It's like, no, the reactor's pretty great. I mean, without it, we wouldn't be able to go, no, it's pointless. It just makes the boat go. I was like, oh, yeah, you know, engine in your car, fucking pointless. All it does is make it run.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like gasoline engines anyway. Yeah. You're right. The fucking diesel in my truck, it's fucking stupid. It just makes the car go. That's it. It's fucking dumb. And
he'd rather be in a metal tube in the water that doesn't move.
Yeah.
We're just sitting here in a metal tube, chilling.
Yeah. So I go back down, call the dude he had called. I was like, yo, what did you say to him? And he tells me, I was like, that's fucking hilarious. He fucking lost his shit. And so that gets spread around back there. And then everyone, all the Watchstanders back apps start calling this guy one at a time, saying, hey, this is what's going on. Thanks for protecting the reactor. And every time he just gets so angry to the point where he just stops answering.
Does he want like a Flintstone style submarine where you all put your feet through the bottom and just like pedal along the ocean?
No, he wants a diesel boat. Because if you had a diesel boat, you would have to deal with the reactor and everything that goes along with it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe he should suck it up and deal with his life.
Well, the problem is that he showed a weakness on the submarine, and everyone's like, "Oh, that annoys you? Let me push your button because it's funny."
I've got nothing else to do while we're down here, so we're just gonna push this button over and over again. Yeah.
Keep pushing the button. Keep pushing the button. And then the next morning, he's like, "Oh yeah, I spun Mr. Krob up good." And he didn't know I was right around the corner, and I was like,
"Oh,
you were the one that was like actually ranting."
That's a great situation when you hear that. Someone thinks that you're not there.
Oh yeah, and it's funny because it's basically like his immediate supervisor that was like, "Yo, dude, go tell him this. He'll fucking lose it." And he's like, normally he'd be like, "No, that's kind of dumb." But he's like, "Oh, it makes him angry. Okay, let's do it." And then he sits there and he's like talking to him, like, "Yeah, everyone was calling me saying that last night." But it's just so funny to hear his side.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
Excellent.
Yeah, that was yesterday.
Well, what about you, Will? How's life?
Life's going, man. Life's going. I just rewired my entire computer setup, it seems. I can't wait to undo everything I've done after the show.
Oh.
I'm looking forward to it.
Nice.
Yeah.
What about you, Mr. Mooten? Lucas?
Just living life, I guess.
Any exciting updates from Florida?
No, nothing I can think of. People still doing dumb things. I think people are still going to beaches and,
yeah,
dumb people be dumb. What are you gonna do?
Not much. You can't stop idiocy. I think it's sort of just a thing.
You can a little bit. They shut down all the public beaches here.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, that would require the people in power to not be the idiots. I think it's the problem. Because your beaches are still open, aren't they, Moon? They haven't said that they're closed, have they?
I think they're closed.
They do it? Did they finally close them?
Sure. I think they're closed. I don't go to beaches, though.
Well, last but not least, we got Tom. Any water spouts chasing you around?
No water spouts chasing me around when I was younger at Cedar Point during summer break. No,
that's a long time ago, 20 years ago now. No. Everything's stuff's locked down here the way it is everywhere else. But just keeping on trucking. I mean, thankfully, my job usually is pretty easy to do. From home or at the workplace, so I'm fortunate there. But yeah, and then streaming wise, we're back to XCOM Iron Man Legendary playthroughs on stream, which is pretty cool. Monster.
Yeah. We're because I'm doing a mod list. That's Christopher Odd is a YouTuber who does a lot of XCOM stuff, and I can't do Long War because it's too long. So what we're doing instead is it's a mod pack that's supposed to make the difficulty curve of the game rise up instead of plateau the way it usually does in War of the Chosen, because the Chosen weapons are super overpowered. I think you've only played XCOM Long War, right, Koibu?
Right. I haven't played War of the Chosen. I played basic and Long War,
Yeah, so War of the Chosen adds these chosen enemies that show up in the middle of any mission and basically wreak havoc. They're super strong boss type enemies that just show up and they completely break everything. But if you manage to kill them permanently, you get their weapons. One of the weapons is super overpowered. It basically gives you free actions every time you kill somebody. Every time you kill an alien.
Holy shit.
So by default,
once you get that in the late game, even if you're playing on super hard difficulty, it's actually sort of causes the difficulty to plateau, and you can reach sort of like a stable equilibrium where you can just train your guys up and basically coast to the end. So anyways, the mod pack that I'm playing makes everything more difficult in the late game, and it adds a whole bunch of new enemies and shit like that.
How does that stack with the other Reaper trait where you already get actions after you kill someone?
Well, the
Shinobi
sniper has, so the overpowered combination is the marksman has death from above, or I forget what the trait is called, but basically when you kill someone from a high ground position, your action is, I can't remember what it is, refunded or free. When you combine that with the chosen weapon that I just mentioned, gosh, I can't remember the specifics, but it basically breaks the action economy, and it allows you to wipe out an entire pot of enemies with one person.
One
basically.
person? Oh my god.
Yeah. So anyways, the mod pack is, it's like super extensive, and it adds a whole bunch of different enemies that are hopefully just as broken as your abilities are broken, so it might make things more difficult. Anyways, there's so many of them that I can't play on Iron Man because I'm afraid the game's going to crash and corrupt my save, which already happened once. So I did it at the beginning of this week. So now I'm playing Honest Man, where you're allowed to save in different things. And if something crashes or something corrupts, then I just go back and do it. Anyways, sorry.
Yeah.
Long-winded. That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Nice. Long War is a biatch. And yeah.
And I can't do it anymore. Yeah.
We've heard our recap. We know what's going on. There is a confrontation down at the docks. I do believe we were about to roll for initiative between Chives and Ebner. Two allies, short people each, somehow fighting each other instead of the biggins.
Ebner has a short temper.
I'm sorry.
Well, anybody that wants to can roll into initiative right now, because Ebner starts chanting the words to the spell, and everybody sort of like looks up because someone's casting a spell in a populated place, and that's kind of creepy. You never know what it's going to be.
I just wanted to try and clarify, are the civilians that we're escorting, are they not yet on the boats? Are they sort of in a...
They're being brought down to the boats, and in the process of bringing them down in groups, Chives was like, hey, let's do something about the livestock.
Gotcha.
So I thought we had put everyone in the livestock on the boat. Are they not on the boat already?
People are on the boat.
I think you were
working on the
still
livestock.
trying to work out the agreement. You had made the agreement with the woman, and you were turning to like go get the livestock to start putting them on the boat when you said something that set Ebner off.
Right, so the livestock's not on the boat yet. We still gotta do that.
Not yet. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have to defend myself.
Ebner gets an 11. Chives.
He's can
Are
just
you
go
gonna
first. I don't think I'm
do
gonna
some
anything.
initiative? You're not doing anything?
Sure. I mean, it'll be a +3, but I'm just gonna stand there. So I don't know.
Valerio.
Are the rest of us here?
Oh wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to. That's kind of what I was trying to clarify. Is I think you guys were up towards the front because you guys can actually interact with these people. I'm sort of taking care of keeping order in the middle because there's hundreds of people here, right? And they're being escorted towards the ships. So I'm sort of making sure everybody knows where they're going. And has the spell been cast already yet? Do we know?
No. You're rolling for initiative. You see him start to speak
I don't
the
know
words
what's
to the
happening
spell.
Okay.
All right. I guess Ebner goes, and he casts light on Chives. Chives, roll me. Jeb
Neal.
is hopping in. Never mind.
Yeah. So he just starts casting, and I'm probably like a ways away, but probably hear the commotion of something.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Just run over. Ebner, what's going on? And probably like run over, because you don't know, like if you don't see him actually casting, I don't know what he's casting.
Same.
Yep.
What he's doing. But remember, we've had problems with him casting spells in crowded places before, yeah?
Well,
I feel like sadly Ebner is overcome with rage, and his dwarven pride will not end him casting the spell.
God damn it.
So Ebner will cast light on Chives' eyes.
all right, Chives, give us a save and throw versus spell.
Fail.
You are blinded by the light.
Chives is very angry, and you can tell him shaking. And then all of a sudden, he becomes very still and very calm. He'll go, Ebner, you are literally fucking this all up right now. Of all the times and all the places for you not to have any common sense, this is not the one.
I just want you to not.
What language
use...
is this in?
Halfling.
I think I see.
Do you speak Halfling? If not, it'll have to be Erickson.
I do.
Yeah.
I'll throw it in Halfling.
Sweet. Absolutely. It's all in Halfling.
Okay, can I explain how a light spell would go off?
Yeah.
I feel like if it's centered on the eyes, I feel like it's not going to be whoosh, a big bright flash of light. I feel like it's going to be pretty localized to his eyes, blinding him. And
sort of area does light illuminate?
oh, is it going to do the whole thing, even centered on a portion? So
I mean,
his eyes are casting 30 feet of light currently?
Yeah.
As bright as daylight or brighter?
No, it's not continual light. It's just regular light. So it's bright light, but not daylight.
So
not sunlight.
no one can see it anymore, right? 'Cause
Well-
it's still daylight out.
It depends what time of day it is. Does anyone remember what time of day it is?
Afternoon.
Afternoon.
I think it would be afternoon going to evening, right?
Probably.
Okay, so that means the sun is going to be... Can we all see the world map here? Yeah. So you guys are in Stout End. That means the sun is going to be coming from either this direction or this direction. So if it's late enough in the afternoon, you might be getting late afternoon light on the docks. If it's not, then the docks are probably in the shadow of the cliff right here. So I'm going to roll a... Oh, you got here actually late in the evening, didn't you?
It was
Okay.
like mid-afternoon. I don't remember.
Mid-afternoon?
Yeah, it was
All right.
still. Yeah, it was still
We'll
in the
make a
daytime.
die roll. Yeah, so you guys are in somewhat of the shadow of the wall right now. So the light around his eyes is quite apparent to all who observe it.
All right,
so-
and the light spell
Ebner-
says that I'm blinded, but it says that I receive an AC penalty of -4. So to me, that says that I'm not completely blinded, so I can
No,
still
that's
see
completely
some-
blinded.
That
If
is
you have your
completely
eyes
blind.
closed, you
It's-
have an AC penalty of 4.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
Yeah.
I got you.
The layer is going to
Ebner-
run up from wherever he's at to see what's going on because he sees the light.
Will call it off, and because I can undo it with just anything, I can just undo it immediately. Ebner will call it off and say, if you use blasphemy against my god, telling people that you know his way and whatnot, I'll make it permanent next time. Now you
Ebner,
go handle the sheep and the cattle. And Ebner will walk off.
As Ebner's walking off, I go, you should remember your own words next time. I literally repeated what you said. And then he'll turn around and he'll walk off towards Jeb.
It does kind of dawn on Ebner that he has been the one saying that it is Tempos' will, and maybe his dwarven bullheadedness got the best of him there.
Give him a couple hours, maybe.
Tensions are rising high. Let's see if this act, combined with the unusual movement of people and livestock, causes any suspicion to be aroused. No, flat 20 on the die. People think it's just a dwarf being a
It's
dwarf.
fine.
Fucking dwarves, right?
Fucking
Fucking
dwarves.
casting light spells on
Dwarves.
people. God damn these
No
short-headed,
one's upset
short-tempered people.
True.
God
Casting
fucking
it
damn it.
in a temper tantrum, I think
You
is
got
the
some luck,
important
man.
part right there.
That's true.
Mhm.
It was dwarven behavior and dwarven nature. Dwarves be
Balding
dwarves.
dwarves. God damn it.
Fucking dwarves.
Ebner will focus on getting the people on the ships and getting the fuck out of here, as I think Jeb and Will are gonna do the other part.
Yeah.
All right.
I was gonna say.
The people are loaded onto boats. The livestock are loaded onto a ship. And now there's the painful question of where we're going. Because the one chick who's got the livestock, you said you were going to Thabin, I do believe.
Right, but I said as far north as Sabin. I didn't tell her destination. I went to Ebner to get the final destination, if I recall. So I owe
sure.
her a
We'll figure that out
conversation.
later.
Yeah,
In the-
we owe her a
yeah.
conversation.
So
Right.
we're
gonna
gonna ask for
start-
forgiveness than it is for permission.
Yeah.
That is a true statement. Okay.
We take off, I guess, then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we split the party, Jeb and me with the animals, and then the other two on the other boat.
The people hop into the boat you've prepared for them. The animals hop into the other boat.
I keep little Bobby close to me.
Where's little
Just
Bobby
like
at?
a good priest.
On one of our ships. If you want, you can be with us.
So, Well, yeah. I was gonna say probably little Bobby. So to I guess explain what's going on with little Bobby. He's the son of the Baroness, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, was she the Baroness?
Correct or no?
I'm
sorry,
Lady
not the
Land.
She's
Baroness,
the
but the-
local lord, the liege lord.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, that's the woman that we left behind, right? And
Yep.
this is her son.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you told.
I tell everybody you're a
told-
paladin.
Right. You told Bobby that I was a paladin, and Bobby's tagging along with
Yep,
me like
he
this
probably
entire
wants to
time,
be
like
by you,
poking
yeah.
me. Probably really. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Yeah. So I'm wherever Bobby's at.
That's good.
Okay. You guys pile into the boats and push out into the sea, into the Grand Canal, and sail northward. Now, who's on the livestock boat and who's on the person boat?
Me and Valeria on the person boat.
Boats.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Jeb and Chives are on the
Chives,
livestock boat.
Yep.
All right. So your groups are now split and generally cannot communicate. One of you will be in the far front, the other will be in the far back. I think there's a couple boats holding the people. So people on the livestock boat, how do you get to High Castle?
So
That's-
I want to start talking with her. It's a 3-day journey, right? If I remember this from last time. Or
Yeah,
how long
come-
does it take to get there?
2 to 3 days, depending on shit.
So immediately when we set out, I want to start chatting up the captain. I want us to start seeing who she is and what she's got. Like, does she have family? Does she have friends? Just generally get to know the person.
Let's see
She
how
related to
receptive she
Zaz.
is.
I remember I have a +6 for my reaction adjust, if that matters at all.
Let's see. All right. Okay. You have a +6 from your charisma to your reaction adjustment?
I sure do.
Oh, that's very nice. She's quite friendly with you now that you guys are finally out at sea. Now that the trials and tribulations of land have been left behind, she seems pretty chill.
Awesome. So I just want to keep chatting her up and just generally be pleasant around her the whole time.
Mhm.
And after the first, like towards the end of the first day, I'll be like, well, the cleric I'm following said that it was just going north and he would know where the place to land was. Can we just follow the other boat? He wouldn't give me more information for now. And I'll pull out my bag. I'll pull out the wizard's purse and I'll say, he said just to give this to you. And I'll hand her the purse that the wizard had.
She'll take it and say, so you don't know where you're going? There's like 2 towns. There's Thaben and there's Slagmire. You couldn't get a Thaben or a Slagmire out of him.
When I asked the dwarf on the docks, he cast a light spell on my eyes and said to not doubt him and that I should blindly follow. And he took it off afterwards so I could actually see. But you know how dwarfs are.
Have you
Sometimes they can be
considered
stubborn.
going somewhere else? We could take all of these animals, sail to either Thaben or Slagmire. Hell, we could even go to Vale or Evermond, sell them for a fortune. You won't have to be with that annoying ass dwarf ever again.
You know, sometimes you don't always get to pick the people you got to be around. This is a
Why are
rather
you
long
traveling with
story.
them?
Well, one of my friends, how do I say this? I do performances and they take care of people. Together we do good work, but sometimes we don't always see eye to eye.
So why are you traveling with him?
Chives will look very embarrassed and say, I owe him a big debt, okay? I don't want to go into it right now. I'm real sorry. Just, how about this? I'll do something nice for you in the meantime. I'll sit up here and I'll play music for you for the rest of the time, and I'll even write a story about you. But I need your help right now. And I don't really want to piss him off because Lord knows he's very short-tempered and he might start doing crazy shit.
Well, the canal but goes 2 ways. We won't lose track of him. That's for certain. And I guess we'll find out if he's going to Thaben or to Slagmire.
That was my thoughts exactly. Thanks for your understanding.
Okay. And the pair of ships sail northward, or the quadro of ships. I can't remember how many ships the people are piled on.
Several.
Several. Okay, it was indeterminate.
A flotilla.
One.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Flotilla's what, like at least 3? Sure.
Yeah, there's
a
at least 3.
Yeah, there's at least 3. A flotilla of ships headed north, carrying people and livestock. You sail for 2 or 3 hours before the captain will pull the ship over towards the cliffs of the Grand Canal, like you have to do because the tides here are uncomfortably strong, and they will hook themselves into a big bolt with a big eye hole on the side, tie a rope around there, and then as the tide comes in and the water levels raise, the ship gets like pulled down in the opposite direction of Thaben and High Castle as the tides like roll in, and the ship comes taut against the rope. But so is the other ships, kind of down the ways, attached to various places near the cliff where you have these big eye holes. So you can attach a ship and you won't get tossed by the tide. And then, maybe 6 hours later, as the tide has reached its, equilibrium, the ship gets untied.
Would we be able to see like our other people on the other ships at this point? Like
you could see them, but it would be a great distance. It would be many hundreds of feet. You wouldn't be able to communicate.
What about with like fingers and like hand signals and waving?
You might be able to wave, but that's about as close to signaling as you're going to get, unless you understand ship's flags
or semaphore.
I don't know what semaphore is.
Signals.
Right.
I like
plane signals. Yeah.
Right. Yep, so you guys are stuck on your separate ships, not communicating. Once the tide reaches its equilibrium, then detach and sail forward. And then as the tide begins to go out, you dart this way, being pulled by the tide towards Thaben and High Castle. After a few days of this, maybe not a few days, but like a day and a half of this, you get to the point where if you're going to go to Thaben, you're going to be making a hard left. And if you're going to go to High Castle, you're making a hard right. And the ships with the people make a hard right. And the ship captain on the ship with the boats, the livestock, calls for Chives, who should be nearby. He promised to play all day. And she says, where's he going? We can't go that way.
Why not?
That's enemy territory.
You think enemies would attack people of the gods?
Yeah. Otherwise, we wouldn't have war.
Very true. But he's going that way. If Tempo's fated the people to go that way, I paid you an additional gold to follow the ships.
Yeah, I'm not taking livestock to our enemy's gates and just handing it to them.
Whoa. Who said taking them to the enemy's gates? Just follow the ships. What if he keeps going up? You never know. You
would never go that way. We'll stick to the left side. Well, they must be trying to go past Slagmire or something?
How do we not know they're not going somewhere near the Spindlewoods?
She looks at you. Do I tell you how to play a musical instrument?
No, but I
Trust me,
paid you to take me
you're
somewhere.
not going that way unless you're headed to High Castle.
Chives will look at her. Very disappointed in her.
You are met with equal disappointment.
I'm gonna go... how do I do this? It's the next morning, right? Hold on, let me get my spells done, because I need to do that too before we go any further. She really, I've paid you the additional gold. Follow the ships. There's nothing more to this. If you had your family and friends and had issues, how do I... Will's lack of charisma sucks, so Will's just gonna roll a charisma check.
Cool.
Will's not a 17.
Oh my god.
Holy shit!
Holy fucking shit.
Will has no charisma,
All right.
but Chives does, and he figures out the right words to use. I don't know what they are.
Man,
When was the
you
last
called
time
that at the
Aridon
right
attacked?
time.
Yeah, that's how to...
They've probably been devastated by demons by now.
She's joining High Castle.
Here, let me just pull this 20 out of my pocket. Bang. There you go.
Ugh.
Look at him.
I
He's
learned about her
defeated.
family and her friends. In a general overview, I compel her to follow the other ones for family, friends, and people like that, and say that the gods obviously fated this, and nothing bad is going to happen.
Literally fate.
Literally fated.
Literally fate.
The
Okay.
20's right there.
She pulls hard right, sails towards High Castle, and as you fall within the shadow of the cliffs here, she gets very uncomfortable because it becomes very clear the other boats are headed directly for the High Castle docks. But with the way that the tides are heading out towards being drawn inward a little bit here, which helps push you guys towards High Castle because of the geography of the area, there's no turning back. Your other ships approach the High Castle docks, and she looks at you, Chives, and says, "We're going to High Castle. Do you know what you've done? They're going to take me and my ship, and me and my crew are going to be executed."
You will not be executed. We've had
You're
this
right,
discussion
because I'm taking you. And she draws a dagger from her side and levels it at your face.
All right, those are my spells for the day. So as she does so,
give me an initiative roll against the sea captain as she tries to level a dagger at you.
Those aren't my spells. I fucked up. Well, whatever. I don't think Chives would have, but that's fine. What's this initiative on that? I don't know. I don't think I've used it yet.
How obvious is it that she pulled a dagger on him?
Oh, one.
Very obvious.
Very obvious.
Yeah. I don't know where you are during all of this.
Yeah, so how far apart are these ships?
Probably at least keeping an eye
Many hundreds of feet.
around, especially since
Hundreds of
I've been
feet,
in this
okay.
port
Oh my
before, and I've probably heard murmurings from the crew. It's like something's going on. Probably just.
So are we
watching
currently moored? Like we're anchored right now?
Yeah, you
or
guys
we
are like
still-
pulling up to docks when she
Okay,
realizes
gotcha.
that you're not just like coming near High Castle, you're docking at High Castle.
Gotcha.
Yep. So I think my sleep spell goes off before she can stab me.
If sleep has an initiative of 1, it goes off. Roll me 2d4. The number of hit dice it affects.
Can I not just pick just her, or?
No, but it
It's a
affects a
hit dice
certain
based
number of hit
spell.
dice.
Oh.
So if she's 5th level and you roll less than 5, then it won't affect her.
So four.
She is not 5th level though, so she's
6.
passes out.
Night.
Night night, and we keep on sailing on in. Chives gets behind the wheel and pretends like nothing's wrong.
Do you know how to sail a boat, Chives? Do you have a seamanship proficiency?
No,
No, I don't, but we're pretty close at this point. We're gonna try to wing it.
that's when it's the hardest.
Yeah, that's when you gotta fucking steer it in.
Yep.
Yeah, piloting is no joke.
Roll me a d20, Will.
High or low? Low.
Oh.
You have no idea what you're doing. The other people in the boat quickly realize that something's wrong and sort of come over here. They see the captain unconscious. You're standing by. She's just like dazed out on the ground. And tensions rise, especially because the boat is headed directly for the dock. So the sailors come and they go, "What are we doing at High Castle? We're in the wrong part of the world. What the fuck is going on?"
So Chives is gonna use some of his bard abilities, and he's gonna talk to people and shift their panic to not panic. So as he talks to them all, he's gonna calm them down. I need to look up the exact words of what I can do.
Do they
Shift
speak
their-
halfling?
Oh, that's true. Do they speak halfling?
It's unlikely, but maybe one of them does.
So I'm gonna try to calm at least that person
No,
down.
none of these people speak halfling. It was just her, just the woman in charge.
Well,
So they're
Double
panicking right now.
yep.
Yeah, like some people were trimming the sails trying to get things right, but then they realized the ship wasn't being steered and it's headed straight for a dock.
So I'll run up, like, look at her. Well, what are you lads standing around for? Either we hit the dock or we don't hit the dock.
Chives
Like,
steps
come on, step in. What are you doing? Are you guys just gonna stand there and let us run into the dock?
The
You ain't getting
first
home
mate
ever if we do that.
gets up and he says, "We're not going here. I'm turning us around. I don't care what it takes." And he hits the wheel and flips it hard, spinning and trying to pull the ship in the other direction.
I stop the wheel.
He looks at you. "Get out of the way!"
Where are we gonna go? The tide's it's going
"Get out of the
big.
way!" he shouts. "We're not going to High Castle."
What do you think's gonna happen if you go to High Castle? Have you been there?
He tries to kick you out of the way. He aims a foot attack at you. He rolls an 18, so I think he kicks you enough that you lose grip of the wheel for a moment.
I
Does
mean,
an 18
maybe.
not hit?
I mean,
18
no,
hits
my
your
AC
AC,
is
right?
17, then I have the cloak.
So that's 19 AC.
Oh, it's plus
Yeah,
2
it's
cloak.
plus
Thanks,
2.
Neal.
Oh, +2.
Yeah, we
Good.
sorted that out last time.
No, it's either a +2 or a +3.
No,
we
it's
sorted
plus
it.
2.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess
Whatever.
he goes to kick you, and it catches you in your armor, and not enough to really shove you anywhere.
Now, see all the weapons on my back? I don't want to get in one of them out. You're gonna dock there. I'm gonna give you a fistful of gold, and this never happened. It's gonna be a hefty fist.
He drops the wheel and goes to tackle you to the ground. You can roll initiative against him if you'd like.
Okay. Let's see here. What do I want to do? I'm not fucking around.
Yep. It's time to stop.
He gets a
Fucking
6.
around.
Jeb gets an 8.
What's this one?
Jeb
I need to
gets
put
an
all my
8.
spells somewhere with their initiatives. I'm sorry. Screw it. Oh my god.
Chives gets an 11. All right, the first mate goes. He tries to tackle Jeb to the ground. Only your dex and magic get taken into account. He rolls a 14. No modifiers? No. Alright.
So I have 3 from Dex.
Yeah. So you easily just step out of the way, give him a slight tap on his back, and he goes tumbling across the deck. The wheel spins free. The ship begins to turn awkwardly, approaching the docks closer and closer. You can
That's
start
good.
to hear the bells on the docks as people shout and like wave, like, no, don't do this.
So, it's we're down in a cliff, right? Never mind. Chives will grab the wheel and slowly turn it away. If the people in the docks seem like they're panicking less, we're doing better.
Yeah, it's without a skilled pilot on board and with all this commotion, this ship just like drifts sideways and slams into the pier. Let's see. Ebner, will you roll me a 1d20 for the significance of the impact on the ship? And Valeria, will you roll me a 1d20 for the significance of the impact on the dock? All right, so the ship doesn't take much damage. Neither does the dock. Okay, so I guess you just kind of like bump into it, break a couple of boards here or there,
Tokyo
but it's
drifted
kind of
it in.
fine. And the ship like slams against it, and the dock watch throws ropes overboards, and sailors jump overboards. They know this ship
Multi-wave
is
drifting.
Mystrian. They can tell it's not one of theirs. And
We got there first, right?
Yeah, you guys have been on the.
Could I have talked to the dock people and been like, the livestock are ours, and I will explain the other people, the bard and the ranger, and explain to him that those are ours as well, and don't kill them. Everybody else, it seems like they're fucking crazy. They're all evil, so fuck them up.
Yeah, you say this to them. They hop on the boat, draw swords, and attack.
Chives will stop him and start saying no as loud as he can, and they speak my language, so I'm gonna start speaking Eridonian. We're to do the bard
so
thing.
we're gonna bring you and you over.
So these people in High Castle speak Eridonian now, right?
Yes.
We gave him a ship.
Absolutely.
Okay. Oh, boy.
The guards hop on the boat, draw their weapons, and begin the combat.
So I can't be yelling at him to
You
stop
can
or
yell
Oh, you
whatever
can
you like, but
absolutely
we
yell.
should roll initiative.
is yelling.
These
a
are
zero.
Eridonian guards that have drawn their weapons against the
crewmen.
sailors on the ship.
Yeah, that's what we assume.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why'd you roll at a
Rolling-
+3, Jeb?
We're all rolling initiative.
Just like
Okay.
movement action.
Yeah, I guess we're just chilling.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure you weren't gonna fucking snipe a guard.
No, if I did that, it'd be a,
It'd
at a
be-
plus
it'd be over.
5. Yeah. If
Okay.
it's a 5 or a 4, I mean business.
So Tom and Ebner are not on the boat yet, but you guys are probably like on the next pier over, so you can. roll in
Yeah,
as
Ebner's
you
not gonna
like.
worry about. Ebner's not gonna worry about this. Should be fine.
Chavs, you rolled a 6+, like you're just chatting, right? You're not doing anything.
Yeah, I'm yelling. I didn't know what yelling would be a plus.
Yelling is +0. Yeah.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
chilling. All right, you're the first one to go, Chives.
So Chives is gonna say, "Wait, guards, this is fine. I've hired these people to bring us. Don't harm them." And I'll look to Jeb and I'll go, "Jeb, tell the people to lay down their arms and they won't be killed. And that's all I can do.
I can mostly understand Eridonian.
Lay down
Mostly,
arms.
so. Yeah, I'd say I get enough of the gist.
The first guard steps forward towards one of the sailors who is drawing a cutlass, makes an attack roll, plunges through the sailor's chest with his spear. Natural 13 against the sailor who does not have 18 dexterity. Rips him for 5 damage. Sailor has 4 HP, goes down in a bloody heap. Jeb.
I think this did not go as Jebs was hoping it would. Like, if it's fucking fighting monsters, fighting the guards back home, oh yeah, pretty simple. Jeb's stuck between a rock and a hard place.
I'm just surprised the guards were just ready to come straight murder everybody on board.
Oh yeah, I think we both were.
Yeah, I was not expecting the guards
I don't
to
know. I
like,
didn't expect that either.
as we've been docking and bringing people in, then all of a sudden this one random boat, time to go fuck everybody up on this one though. Like, just Chives is unexpected.
Yeah.
This is very
So,
unexpected.
what is? And I'll just shout on mystery and just surrender. Your lives ain't worth it. The cost of your lives. These people know mercy.
All right, you shout to surrender. The captain leading the guards hops onto the boat as well. Levels her sword at the whole crew and says in kind of awkward Mystrian, "Lay down your arms and open them to slavery." The next guard steps forward, not waiting for someone to lay down their arms, and rolls a natural 1, slips on the blood of the first person, lands on his back as the boat sort of rocks in place. Another person begins to tie up the boat. One of these sailors makes a morale check, drops a sword. The next sailor makes a morale check, drops a sword. The first mate recovers, grabs his cutlass at his side, and engages one of the guards with a natural 18 on the die. That's a critical hit against the guard, even wearing leather armor with a shield. The cutlass will rip him for 6 plus 1 plus 2 is 9 damage and cuts one of the guards down instantly. Valerio, I think it's your turn. You're a dock over.
I would like to roll into initiative at this point too.
It's a little late. You can roll into the next round.
Okay, that's fine. I'll roll into the next round.
Yeah.
Okay, so this battle is happening on the livestock ship?
Yes, and the livestock's all in the cargo hold.
Gotcha. So I'm going to run over to the ship. I don't know what the logistics of like where I'm approaching from.
There's like
to
multiple
which guard
piers.
are
So
yet.
you're gonna have to like go back and around and out to this pier.
Sure. Right. I don't have my sword drawn. Hopefully I'm within earshot of the guards. And the guards that can speak Eridonian, I'm going to do basically the same thing that Chives did and implore them to throw down their weapons because, correct me if I'm wrong, don't we have some sort of seal or writ that these people are sort of like the rightful villagers of Meadstead now? Like these...
You're talking about the wrong ship.
Wait,
you might have gotten passage for the people of Mead, the people of Latrine that are going to Meadstead, but they're already on ships that are manned by Eridonian people who have been trying to like keep undercover and pretend to be Mystrian or neutral for the time being. This ship that was clearly wigging out and couldn't handle things and crashed into the side that the guards are hopping on is maybe not under the same.
They're killing
shelter?
Mystrians who, they're killing Mystrians who are like drawing their swords on the guards right now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
right.
Yeah.
But presumably these Mystrians are right, because okay.
It's a complicated mess. There's different languages.
It's a
People aren't
real big
speaking the
mess.
same thing. There's weird assumptions going back and forth. And it is a time of war, and people are bloodthirsty. They're bitter enemies now. The Mystrians have been sacking the remains of Eridon for all of its wealth, and the remaining Eridonians have been very unhappy about it. So now they got their hands on some Mystrian sailor scum. They are happy to butcher them to the last man, or at least imprison them. Take their shit.
Right.
Probably everything on the boat, including the livestock.
Right.
It's our
I'll
loss.
handle that.
Valerio is probably just going to stand in front of one of the sailors and take a defensive posture. And he's going to implore the Eridonians to throw down their weapons. Yeah.
Sure, you can reach the ship and start shouting for people. Give me a charisma check to tell everyone to
You're
lay down
damn
their
right.
arms.
Yep.
You are a former paladin.
Former, yeah.
27
Here's your
is
27,
pretty
dude.
fucking good, though, man.
Pretty good.
Basically, Valerio is seeing needless bloodshed right now from people who are super panicked on the Mystrian side. This is how he understands it right now. Clearly, there's a panic happening because the Mystrians are unexpectedly docking at a place that clearly is at war with them. And the Eridonians are, you know, obviously going to react in hostility, but Valerio's interest right now is to probably defend people who are currently panicking and hope that there's no needless bloodshed at the moment.
Sure. The next three guards
what's happened.
sort of cow the remaining soldiers who throw down their weapons, except for the first mate who's still fighting and killing people. Kind of cow them over to the backside of the ship, leveling spears at everyone, including Chives and Jeb, and order you guys, an Eridonian, to lay down your arms, pointing weapons at you.
All right, so
Do you lay down your arms, Chives?
Chives. Well, during all of this, as all this was going
Hold on,
on,
it's a pretty quick yes or no on this one.
Yeah.
They tell you to lay down your arms,
I had
do
a
you?
thought I was gonna go and like use all this commotion to like sneak around and
So
go like.
no
reroute
is the
my-
answer. I kind of
I mean,
need
I
like
do,
a
I
straight
guess.
yes or no. Throw
Yeah.
down your arms.
Sure.
Okay, Jeb, do you throw down your arms?
So if it's on my back, it's staying on my back. But I'll just put the butt end of my spear on the deck, drop it, and then put my foot on the spear so it doesn't roll around.
Okay, that's fair.
Then
That's
I'll
fair.
probably just cross my arms at him.
On your back is your bow and quiver.
Both bows, the club. What else? What else do I have back there?
I think it's more threatening if he goes and starts pulling out weapons to like lay down, rather than just like dropping it and putting his hands up and not like touching
Yeah,
anything
it's
else.
true.
I definitely don't put my. Yeah, it's just both bows. And
They take your surrender,
like, club.
and one of the guards will come over and like start taking weapons off of people. They'll take your bows off of you, toss them to the deck. They'll
if-
take your quiver,
if
toss
they
it to the
start
deck.
taking my bows, like, don't touch the bows. I've worked very hard on them. Please be
You
careful
say
with
it
them.
Mystrian.
In really shitty Eridonian.
Okay.
Be careful with the bows, please.
They toss
to
them
look
to
at
the
the-
bottom of, to the deck. They just throw them off your shoulders.
I give them
They'll
the stink
they'll
eye.
disarm you. They'll disarm Chives. They'll pat
Can I
everyone
roll in
down.
or no?
Sure. I think
I wanted to
you
go
and
save people and heal
Valerio
them.
can roll initiative. There are still a couple of guards fighting the first mate.
Yeah, I want
How
to
many
roll in and
guards are on
start.
this boat, and how
go
many
healing the
sailors are
guards.
there?
1, 2,
So
3,
they
4.
immediately-
There are 4 guards plus the knight with them. I'm sorry, 5 guards plus the knight with them. And then like maybe 8 sailors.
Yeah, if there's
So-
any down guards or anything, I want to go heal them.
So we've got 2 of the 5 guards coming after us when there's still 8 sailors in the night.
I'm
I'm just trying to understand how I got priority. Is my thing I'm missing right now.
So you guys were at the back of the ship where the wheel is, right? So
Right.
the front of the ship sort of hits the boat. They hop on, kill a couple of people. The first mate's fighting. The rest of the guards that aren't fighting the first mate push to the back, cowing all of the soldiers and people on the top deck to the back of the boat. So it's going to be
perfect.
yeah. So all of you guys are on the back of the boat except for the first mate who's out in the middle of the deck.
Right. So I'm among a bunch of very tall people, being 2'11".
Mm-hmm.
during this scenario, I wanted to sneak back and get my gold from the lady. So I don't understand how they picked through all the soldiers, all the sailors as fast as they did and got to me. Is my
combat is a chaotic, messy situation, and they rushed down the front of the deck, and you were one of the people that was armed, and so they, came up to you and leveled their weapons in your direction, and if you didn't throw down your arms, they would have stabbed you. Oh. There are many people, and they have their eyes on all of them.
Okay.
All right. So you guys have been cowed, surrendered. Mutin, you rolled in at a 13.
Yep. I'm just gonna go heal any guard that are down, any of ours.
Sure. This one
heal them up.
5, and then you two get to bulk macro in at 6. And the first guard will fight the first mate, trying to bash the weapon out of his hand with a hit against him for 3. And 2 is 5 damage against. Where's the HP rolls? Almost killing him. Valerio, you can get to them now, as the guard and the knight are fighting the first mate.
Guard and the knight are fighting the first mate. Okay. The first mate, given. Okay, Okay, so currently Valerio's sword is stowed. I have not taken that out yet. I think what I'm going to do is, pick one or the other, huh? I'm going to try to appeal to the one guard. Well, actually, no, I wouldn't do this. Hang on a second. I'm actually going to shield rush the Eridonian guard and try to knock him down, and I'm going to try to protect him from the first mate.
Okay, give me a shield bash attack. Roll me a roll to hit.
Yeah. Okay. That's initiative. Sorry. Jeez, attack. There you go.
19 will easily slam into the guard. Give me an opposed strength check.
Okay.
Wait, into the guard?
I'm doing. Yeah. Here's the idea. Okay. We're gonna knock. We're knocking the guard down, and then I'm going to stand between the first mate and the guard.
He's basically knocking him out of the way.
Good luck.
I'm knocking him out of the way. Yeah, you're right. So this is going to be a shield rush. Mm-hmm. Wait, I need a strength check for a shield rush?
No, I'm kind of just
I thought it was
the rules.
It might be. I'm sorry.
Check?
One of them is, well, there might be both actually. Shoot, hang on a second. Shield rush. I got it right here. Must start at least 10 feet away from the victim and must have either a medium or body shield. Runs full speed up to his victim. So
if the shield bearer hits with his attack, he makes an opposed strength check. The roll against his opponent to see if he knocks him down. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, because the one I'm looking at just says roll against dexterity to stay on his feet. Okay.
Maybe that's out of the Complete Fighter's Handbook, which is a book we are trying not to use. Yeah. 31
Gotcha, okay.
on your strength check will easily throw the guy to the ground. No problem.
Okay, so I throw the guy to the ground, and then I'm going to stand in between him and the first mate, and I'm going to hold my hands out to the first mate.
Ebner.
Yeah.
Ebner is going to go and heal whichever guard was thrown down with the Cure Light Wounds.
Sure.
Yeah.
The knight will ignore Valerio, step around to the other side, slash at the first mate with a 2 on the attack roll is definitely a miss. The other guard sees his captain kind of leading the fight, but this guy's starting to stop them. He regards you as, let's see, does he think you are hostile? You did attack someone, but you didn't kill him. You didn't even drop blood, you just pushed him out of the way.
And I held up my hands as well.
Yeah, so 14. So he's kind of threatened by you, but not too concerned by you. He will just take another stab at the first mate with a miss as well.
Ebner will yell out, "They're better to you alive as prisoners than they are dead. Stop killing them."
The first mate will drop his arms and surrender. And why don't we go to our first break? And we'll see you on the other side with a little bit more Desperate Measures. Bye-bye.